Frank Sutton died tragically and suddenly sooner or later, after revealing his secret to his spouse. Frank Sutton became an American actor, excellent, recognized for his memorable role because the difficult-talking, no-nonsense Sergeant Vince Carter inside the 60s sitcom Gomer Pyle, USMC. Born on October 23, 1923 in Clarksville, Tennessee, Sutton had a passion for acting from a younger age. In his high-faculty years, he actively participated in drama golf equipment, gaining treasured enjoy on stage. His enthusiasm for the craft grew, and after graduating excessive school, he pursued better schooling at Columbia University in New York, in which he majored in drama. This past turned into pivotal, as it took him from small metropolis Tennessee to the coronary heart of one of the international's most renowned theater scenes. He found so many of his high school classmates, giving them the most recent credits. Sutton's time at Columbia allowed him to hone his competencies, increase his stage presence, and study the intricacies of the performing arts. His early publicity to Shakespearean works and classical performs might later inform his technique to the person roles that made him famous. Sutton's life took a dramatic flip when the U.S. entered World War II. Like many younger guys of his generation, Sutton put his profession on maintain to serve his USA. He enlisted in the U.S. Army and noticed motion in the South Pacific at some stage in the struggle. The enjoy of struggle deeply affected Sutton, instilling in him a profound sense of area and resilience. These features might later shape his maximum iconic roles, particularly that of Sergeant Carter. His time inside the military became additionally instrumental in building the authoritative and commanding personality that he might channel into his characters. Despite the cruel realities of struggle, Sutton observed solace in interesting his fellow squaddies, frequently performing skits or impersonations to boost their spirits. His provider, not simplest, formed his person but additionally furnished him with an information of Navy lifestyles which could show priceless in his performing profession. After the conflict, Sutton, lower back to New York City, decided to pursue his dream of becoming. Sutton took on a series of odd jobs to make ends meet whilst auditioning for roles in theater, radio, and television. Despite the setbacks, Sutton remained devoted to his craft, attending acting workshops and networking with enterprise experts. His perseverance paid off when he started out landing small roles in live TV dramas at some point of the early 50s, an era often called the Golden Age of television. Sutton's massive destroy got here in 1964 while he was forged as Gunnery Sergeant Vince Carter on Gomer Pyle, USMC, a spin-off of The Andy Griffith Show. The function would all the time outline Sutton's career because the person of Sergeant Carter became one of the maximum cherished figures on television throughout the 1960s. As Sergeant Carter, Sutton played the right foil to the bumbling, however lovable private. Booming voice and countless frustration with Gomer's antics created a dynamic that captivated audiences. Although Carter became hard and often yelled at Gomer, there has been a clear underlying affection among the two characters, which made their dating endearing and relatable. Sutton's portrayal of the no-nonsense drill sergeant resonated with both military veterans and civilians alike, as he added authenticity and coronary heart to the role. The success of Gomer Pyle, USMC catapulted Sutton to national reputation. The display ran for 5 seasons from 1964 to 1969, and at some stage in its run, Sutton became a household name. His overall performance earned him essential acclaim and the admiration of fanatics across the U.SS. Despite his stern on-display screen character, Sutton was recognized off-display character, loved via his colleagues and enthusiasts. His potential to stability, durability with humor made Sergeant Carter one of the maximum iconic characters of the era. After Gomer Pyle, USMC ended, Sutton continued to work steadily in TV and theater. Though he might constantly be associated with the individual of Sergeant Carter, Sutton sought out numerous roles to exhibit his variety as an actor. He appeared in numerous TV suggests, such as The Twilight Zone, Gunsmoke, and The Untouchables, demonstrating his versatility in both comedic and dramatic roles. Sutton additionally lower back to his past love the degree wherein he accomplished in Severa Productions, including The Odd Couple and The Andersonville Trial. His theater paintings turned into severely praised, and he proved that he changed into a long way greater than just a sitcom famous person. Sutton was an actor of first-rate intensity, capable of turning in effective performances throughout genres, while Sutton's professional lifestyles become marked via success. His private life became one among balance and devotion to his own family. He married his university sweetheart, Toby Igler, in 1946, and that they remained collectively till his untimely loss of life. The couple had youngsters, and Sutton turned into regarded for being a loving husband and father. Despite the demands of his career, he prioritized his family and led a fairly non-public lifestyles outside of the general public eye. Sutton's dedication to his craft and his portrayal of iconic characters left a lasting impact on American TV. Even many years after his passing, reruns of Gomer Pyle USMC hold to introduce new generations to his paintings, cementing his legacy as one of the first-rate man or woman actors of his time. Frank Sutton died tragically and suddenly sooner or later, after revealing his secret to his wife. Frank Sutton hid his contamination for a long term earlier than his dying. He understood that his illness changed into irreversible. Frank Sutton was a type man and deeply cherished his spouse and children, according to Toby M. Igler, his spouse and his kids. Frank Sutton hid his coronary heart attack, which, whenever it came, he hid from everybody. With a premonition of an sudden incident, his contamination and fitness will cease his life, himself. Before he died, he stated he had coronary heart disease and did now not reveal, while the contamination began. That additionally explains his incredible love for his wife. Toby M. Igler found out that I sympathize with him right now. All we have left are precise recollections, collectively. Tragically, Sutton's lifestyles become cut quick whilst he suffered a heart attack on June 28, 1974, while making ready for a stage performance in Shreveport, Louisiana. He'd become only 50 years old. His surprising loss of life greatly surprised his fanatics and the amusement community. At the time of his passing, Sutton became nonetheless in high demand as an actor, and his career confirmed no symptoms of slowing down. His dying left a void inside the international of TV comedy, as many felt there might in no way be another actor pretty like him. In the years seeing that, Sutton has been fondly remembered by his co-stars, in particular Jim Nabors, who spoke frequently in their close friendship and the honor they shared for one another. Today, Frank Sutton's contributions to TV and his unforgettable function as Sergeant Vince Carter stay celebrated via fanatics of traditional TV. His performance on Gomer Pyle USMC continues to be lauded for its brilliance in combining humor with the intensity of man or woman. He added authenticity to the role, drawing from his personal military enjoy, and left at the back of a legacy that maintains to undergo. In Clarksville, Tennessee, wherein he was born, there are tributes to Sutton, consisting of a theater named in his honor. For fans of 60s TV, Frank Sutton will always be remembered because the hard, however lovable Sergeant Carter, who should make us chortle and care in equal degree. His paintings stands as a testament to the electricity of TV to create lasting connections with audiences, and his legacy as one of the greats of his era is confident. The aftermath of Sutton's passing became filled with an outpouring of grief from fans, colleagues, and loved ones. His loss of life befell at some stage in a time whilst the public had come to accomplish him so carefully together with his function on Gomer Pyle USMC that it felt as even though that they had lost Sergeant Carter himself. Sutton had brought laughter and joy to millions, and the suddenness of his departure left a profound experience of loss. His pals and co-stars defined him as a heat, generous individual, far removed from the stern disciplinarian he performed on display screen. For Sutton's circle of relatives, his dying was specially devastating. He left at the back of his spouse, Toby Igler, and their children, who needed to cope with the sudden and unexpected loss of a husband and father. The surprise of his passing turned into, compounded by means of the reality that he were so full of life and power proper, up till the instant of his crumble. His dying on the tremendously young age of 50 also underscored the fragility of lifestyles, especially for the ones inside the spotlight, whose private struggles often stay unseen via the general public.